from All Ages Geek. We're here at TGS 2025. I am here with Mac, from the developer of Clock Out at 2. Can you tell me a little bit about your game?
Yeah, so right now, the studio is based in Minnesota. That's where I originally call home. But I'm based physically here in Japan, and I've been here for about 8 years now.
Oh, wow.
And how the game started is basically, I wanted to do a game jam called Spooktober, which focuses on horror themes. And of course, I'm also a part of a collective called Melanated Game Kitchen, which is like Black, BIPOC developers trying to make games, for the culture, by the culture. And so we were like, what could be horrifying? We're like microaggressive, isms. And so originally it was supposed to be a fantasy horror where monsters materialize from these different isms and then hunt those specific groups. So if it's like sexism, maybe go after women, ageism, go after young or old, right? But unfortunately, during the game jam, my artist was unfortunately going through some real-world isms, and we wanted to do something for her. So we decided to combine that fantasy horror aspect and that real-world modern horror, and that's what gave birth to Clock Out at 2. I think Severance meets Get Out.
Okay, cool. I guess my question for you, how many people are in your studio? Like, how many folks do you work with?
So I think that's always a funny question. For indie, right, not everyone is full-time.
Right.
So I would say that we have core members who are like kind of always there to help, but it goes by sprint basis.
Oh, okay.
So I have about 6 core people who are helping.
Yeah.
And then the rest is kind of like when they have capacity and there's a need, they come help out.
Awesome. And then I also like to ask this for people who do work with multiple people. How do you kind of like, if you all have different ideas, you all came from different spots, your brains all work differently. How do you kind of like make sure you're on the same page creatively?
That is, so I think if you're used to being in game jams and you're used to kind of working in the industry, you kind of have an understanding to say, hey, this is my role. I am now the chief of this area, right? Of course, there needs to be one person that is the decision maker, because if it gets to the point where like the writer and the artist are arguing over the script, right, then it's not gonna work out. So essentially, I guess I'm the boss, right? And so
hell yeah.
So people give me like the final say. However, I do give a lot of open to ideas, because I'm like, okay, I may have to do the final decision, but you are the expert, right? You spent 10 years in art school. I'm not going to be like, yo, I know better. That doesn't make sense.
Work. My next question for you was, I guess, what kind of, because I was looking at the page, I love the art. What kind of inspired the art style and the aesthetic of the actual game?
Because originally it was a game jam, we wanted to keep the art as simple as possible, but also keep it like cute or a little horrifying. So one of the things we really enjoyed was a game called Omori, and Omori was it's a Japanese title, and basically it's about like a dream slash reality kind of game. Think maybe Persona a little, but unfortunately the character, maybe spoiler,
if you want to play it, don't listen. Skip.
Unfortunately, the character starts having issues telling what's real and what's not. And in his dream world, he's fighting people. He has like scissors, things like that. And then when he thinks he's still in the dream world, he ends up using the scissors and then kills someone.
Oh my
god! Then there is game over.
Oh,
and then you start to realize, oh, I really need to start, you know.
Yeah.
But the art style is super cute, super simple, and I think that's kind of like very on brand for Japanese like art, where you're like, oh, this is so cute.
But then it's like everyone's stabbing each other, and you're like, wait a minute, what is actually happening right now?
You're like, this is horrifying. But I was like, I love it. And so that's kind of one of the main inspirations that we chose for the art style.
I love it. My next question to you is, let's say someone wants to make a game, not similar to yours, but in general, they want to make a game, they have no idea what to do.
Yes.
What kind of advice would you give to newer people who want to jump into the industry?
Okay, yeah, I love giving like mentorship. I did a couple of talks for the IGDA Foundation, and so I would definitely say get out there and make a game. If you don't make a game on your own, then do a game jam. I am a big champion of game jams because you can meet a team, get something done, hopefully get something done in a short time frame, and it's something you can put on your portfolio. And one of the things I also emphasize is find a good community. Without community, it's very hard to go forward, right? Whether it's a lack of skills or it's a just experience, and then just general, hey, I have someone with me to help complete this project. I think that's something that I really emphasize.
I love that. And for people who don't know, can you tell me a little bit about what a game jam is and where people can go to find game jams?
Yeah, that's so a game jam basically is if you're very familiar with like a music jam where random artists come together to produce something wonderful, right? No pre-practice, and it's just done on the spot. That's the same as a game jam. When people come together, they say, hey, I have a common goal, a common theme, and let's just make something happen in a short amount of time, and they just make it happen, right? It's magical. And the best the best place to find game jams is called itch.io, right? So they have lots of game jams that are available. If itch.io is not your speed, then simple like doing a Google search where like open jams are usually available. Oh, what's the big one? Global Game Jam is also one that's pretty big as well.
Awesome. And then back to the game. What inspired the title? I love it because yes, I want to clock out before 2 or at 2. I want to be done at 2. But what inspired the title? Does that have something kind of to do with like the concept you were telling me before? Like where did the title come from? Because titles are very important and sometimes super tricky to find. But what inspired the title?
So we were thinking that we were like, what is the ultimate goal for Celia, our main character, right? And in the game, she's at a 9-to-5, and we're like, this 9-to-5 is almost what's the best word? It is almost like a curse.
Oh no.
Where you're like, I have to do this 9-to-5 job every single day, no freedom. Even if I have PTO, right? Then I can't even use it. And so that's what we thought about. I was like, okay, her goal is to circumvent this toxic culture and leave early under her own like power. And so we just decided, we're like, you know what? Let's clock out at 2, right? Because I think that's when our meeting ended.
Oh my god, I love that. That's really funny.
We're like, okay, the meeting's about to end. It's 2. Oh, you know what?
That's the name.
Let's clock out at 2, right? That's the name.
That is awesome. And 2 more questions for you. How would you pitch your game in 3 to 5 words? Ooh. Only 3 to 5 words. You cannot give me more than that.
3 to 5 words. All right, let's go with roguelite. Modern horror narrative game.
Hell yeah. And then my last question to you is, where can everybody support your work for our viewers and listeners? Where can they support your work and find the game?
Yeah, so we're very active on our Steam page, right? So if you go to clock out at 2, you'll be able to wish list it and support us that way. Another way is our social media. Our main places are Blue Sky as well as LinkedIn. So depending on if you're more of a professional person or
Where
more
you're
of it just like kind of like a chill.
Yeah.
Those two areas are well. And then we also just released a brand new trailer on YouTube.
Ooh.
So please check that out on our YouTube channel.
Absolutely check out everything they have going on, and make sure you check everything on the Steam page and everything that they do have. Thank you again so much for doing the interview. I am super excited. I love the art, super excited, and I definitely will check out that new trailer, and you will too.
Please.
And you will too. Anyway, thank you guys so much, and until next time, bye!